Hello everyone, today I'll take you on a tour of this 2022 Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG, and I've got to say it is a very nice luxury SUV. It's the pinnacle of Mercedes-Benz and it's really nice. Thank you to Mercedes-Benz of Seattle for providing me with this 2022 AMG G63. They have all the latest Mercedes-Benz models that you can imagine, and they even have these cool Metris camper vans. So if you're in the market for any kind of Mercedes-Benz, these guys are an excellent place to check out. Alright, so first off, let's start with the infotainment system in the middle here. And this G-Wagon was first introduced in 2018, meaning it has the older MBUX system. This means that it uses this setup. You can see you have like this touchpad that you can use, or you can use this dial. So over here, I'm going to use the dial primarily, and you can see we have a bunch of different apps here that you can scroll through. You have navigation, radio, media, your phone, Mercedes-Benz Connect, the vehicle, and system. And as you can see over here, you can scroll through all of these using the dial, or also using the touchpad, which also gives kind of like a force feedback. So let's go ahead and start off with the navigation here. And you can see it comes up with this very nice map, and you can use the dial to zoom in and zoom out. You can say I've zoomed in over here, and I can zoom out as well. And it's a very nice look here. You can see I'm in Seattle right now. And you can see that's the navigation. Very nice, clear display. Looks very good. Also, you can see in the media settings, you can connect a USB phone, or you can also use Bluetooth to connect as well. You can also have the radio here. You have phone settings. Here's Mercedes-Benz Connect. This will allow you to use special Mercedes-Benz applications. So if connected to internet, you can see I don't believe it is connected to internet right now, but if it is, you will be able to access. Oh, never mind, it is. As you can see over here, you have a couple of apps here. You have like iHeartRadio, you have internet radio, you have weather, you have local search, and you have settings and a bunch of other Mercedes-Benz applications. The system also does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so if you connect your phone, you can use those services, which is pretty cool. And keep going here, you can see we have some system settings. This will allow you to control the settings for the system, so for example, like pin protection, language, etc. And you also have vehicle settings. So in here, you can see you can control the seats, climate control, energizing comfort here, which is pretty much like massage, dynamic select, assistance, light settings, which includes the ambient lighting, also and the lights on the outside. So you can see ambient lighting here. So if you hit that, that'll take you to the ambient lighting. You can see there is all the ambient lighting settings you can ever imagine. So that is a lot of ambient lighting settings. And you also have a bunch of other vehicle settings, and you can also look at the owner's manual within this car, which is very nice. Overall, I really like this infotainment system. Very nice, very easy to use. Mercedes-Benz is very good at making technology normally, and this car is no exception. Alright, so next up we have the gauge cluster here, which is also a full screen. So this particular car uses Mercedes dual screen setup. You can see there's one over there, and there's one over there, and you can see it uses Mercedes' dual screen setup. We already covered the one in the middle, so let's go ahead and talk about this one. So this one is controlled by the steering wheel. You can see on the steering wheel I have like this pad here. I can use that to control this gauge cluster screen, and if I do that, I could press this button to get to the home page. I have a bunch of different settings. I can go to navigation here. I have radio. I can look at my trip. I can look at my performance data. I can look at service, etc. One of my favorite features is this thing actually has a bunch of different designs. So if I hit that here, you can see you can change between sport, classic, and progressive. The classic look is the default regular Mercedes-Benz look. You have the progressive look, which changes it to this, and you can also have the sport mode look, which kind of gives you like that orange colors. You can see this also changes the middle here. You can see the middle, if I change that, classic, changes the colors. You can see the colors change to this bluish hue, and it is a very cool look, and I like having that feature. You can also individually control the stuff on either side. So if I go to the left here, if I go to the other one, there you go, you can see you can control these by swiping up and down. You can get the tachometer, you can get a bunch of performance gauges. You can also get the navigation map over there. You can get a bunch of other performance gauges as well. So overall, a very, very cool look. I really like the gauge cluster, one of the most configurable ones in the industry. Very nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the middle here, and you can see it's a very nice, beautiful interior. I really like the materials in this car. It is of the highest class. But once again, as we go down here, you can see a bunch of differential options. This car is the G-Wagon, and after all, so it's going to be an off-road beast. And of course, it has all these off-road options in the middle for differentials. You also have like these beautiful vents. I really like the way they look. Very, very, very gorgeous. And down here, you have a bunch of other options. You can see you have this menu button here. You also have the rear defroster, you have air conditioning, circulating air, temperature on both sides, as well as the zones, fan speed, etc. That's all in here. Also, very, very beautiful looking switchgear in there too. There is an analog clock, which is nice. Gives some class. You have the hazard buttons and a bunch of other shortcuts for the infotainment system. Down here, you have cup holders, as you can see. And you also do have a slot to stick in your key, which is pretty cool. And over here you have all your infotainment system switchgear. So you have the volume here. You have like the infotainment stuff. You have a home page button. If you can see that. You have a back button, and you have a bunch of other settings for like the suspension and etc. in here as well. Going behind to the center console, you can see if I press this button, center console opens up. You have a good amount of storage in here. And you also have, I'm not sure if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think you'll be, oh, maybe you can here. There you go. You can see there are 2 USB type A ports in there as well. So, very, very nice center console area. I really like the design and materials in the center dashboard of this G-Wagon. So I also wanted to give some special attention to the steering wheel. It is a beautiful steering wheel. You can see it has like this beautiful like silver finish here with AMG on the bottom. There's carbon fiber throughout. There is Alcantara on the sides over here. There's carbon fiber on the top as well. And you also have like this top line here to kind of indicate the top of the steering wheel. Pretty cool feature. And overall, this layout, the steering wheel layout, is a beautiful layout. Looks super nice, and I really like it. So also another nice touch in here, you can see the ambient lighting. Currently it's set to red, and you can see it's red over there. You also have a couple of ambient lighting touches throughout the dashboard. Coming around here, you have a bunch of ambient lighting touches. Over here you have ambient lighting, as well as ambient lighting down there. Very beautiful look. I like the ambient lighting in here. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the carbon fiber in this car. This car is finished to the brim with carbon fiber. There is a lot of carbon fiber elements in here. First off is this grab handle. You can see full of carbon fiber. Very nice look. You can see around the infotainment system, a lot of carbon fiber around there. Over here, there's a carbon fiber look, as well as carbon fiber around the infotainment system controls. There's carbon fiber on the steering wheel like I mentioned. And there's also carbon fiber on the door panels. And overall, it kind of livens up the interior. I really like the way the carbon fiber looks. It looks beautiful. Alright, so next up, I wanted to talk about these seats in here. You can see they are very, very beautiful quilted leather seats in here. You can see you have the AMG logo embossed in them. Headrests are also really, really beautiful looking. Overall, these seats are just absolutely gorgeous. Brown leather with the quilting. Very, very luxurious seats. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the back seats in this car. And let me go ahead and turn off the fan here so it's not that loud. And as you can see here, very, very roomy back seat. I have more than enough leg room, and I have way more than enough headroom. This car is literally shaped like a box, so there is a lot of headroom in this car. A lot of space back here. As you can see on the side, there is more ambient lighting. It's carried on to the back. Beautiful look. The carbon fiber is also carried on to the back, which looks really nice. You do have some pockets here to store some papers, and in here you do have some vents back here. Looks nice. You can adjust fan speed, so you can see, just use that to adjust fan speed, and I can also adjust my temperature like so as well. Another cool thing is, as you can see, as I adjust my temperature, The lighting changes on the ground to let you know that you're going hotter or cooler. That is a very, very cool touch. Also, special attention to the back seats. They look beautiful. These quilted leather seats look so nice. The headrests are also beautiful as well. And you can see we also have a leather-lined center armrest, which does have cup holders, and you also have a pass-through. So right now, it's blocked because of stuff in the back, but as you can see, there is a pass-through in here. Seats look beautiful. Just a wonderful back seat. Alright, so next up, let's go and talk about the cargo area. So back here, we have a swinging door. So you just hit this door handle here and you can get to the cargo area. You do have some leather over here. And inside, you have a decent amount of space. You can see there's this little area over here. But other than that, there's quite a bit of space back here. It's all lined in Alcantara too, which is very nice. Over here, you can see you have this area for the wheel well. You also do have a cargo cover. So pull that out. You can attach the cargo cover in place, and you can also put the cargo cover back pretty easily as well. You do have lighting here to help you at night, and you also have a couple of cargo net on the side and a speaker, which is very nice. The cargo area here, pretty good. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the styling by starting from the front here. The front looks really nice here. You can see we do have a camera in the front as well as the Mercedes-Benz logo, which looks really good. There's also a lot of space for the grille because this car has a big engine, and so you do need all that air coming in to cool it down. There's also more grille space down there. You also do have this kind of bumper here to protect it if you're going to take this off-road. There's also a Mercedes badge on the hood itself, and the turn signals are over here. I'll turn them on in just a second, but this is the headlights and the turn signals are up there. So overall, a very nice look in the front. Looks really good. Also has that off-road look as well, which makes it look even better. And like I said, here is how it looks with the daytime running lamps and the turn signals on. Looks very nice here. I really like the circle. Kind of gives heritage to the old G-Wagon models with that circular running light as well. And you also do have a yellow LED turn signal on the top. Looks beautiful in the front, especially with all the lights on. Kind of looks menacing. Here's how the wheels look on this car. You can see it's kind of like this dinner plate style wheel. You can see very big with like these 5 spokes that are really small spokes. And you can see big kind of dinner plate wheel that is black. You have the Mercedes logo in the middle, and also the lug nuts are covered with this caps. Overall, it's a decent looking wheel, as you can see. And behind it, you also do have like these red brakes. This also makes the SUV look a little better. Here's how the Z-Wagon looks from the back. Once again, a beautiful, beautiful look. You can see the spare tire in the back here. Looks super good with the Mercedes logo on it with that spare cover. The lighting back here is a small little strip. Once again, it's a G-Wagon element from the past. And as you can see, it's still over there. It says G63 over there. You have the door handle, and it also says AMG on the side. So the back look and overall just this car's look just makes it seem so off-road, and it makes it look like the pinnacle of the Mercedes-Benz lineup, which just makes it look so nice. Those that are curious, this is how the fuel door works in this car. You can just open it up, and there you go. You have a fuel area here. You can just close it up, just in case you were curious. So a couple of other styling elements I wanted to talk about in here. Let me move that just a second. So you can see you have lit up door sills. You can see here it says AMG and it's lit up. It looks so good, and that's not just in the front. So if I go to the back here, you have the same element. You have a lit up AMG door sill. So it's not like it's just in the front, it's also a feature in the back. So very cool feature. Kind of improves the luxuriousness of the car. And I also wanted to talk about the general styling on the outside. This car looks very nice. It has that old school boxy SUV look, which many of the other SUVs out here won't. The new ones have a more curvature look. I'll tell you a bunch of other Mercedes-Benz SUVs so you can compare the difference between this and the newer models. But as you can see here, a very boxy, beautiful look. And another element on the outside is these exhaust pipes. They're actually on the side like a truck, not in the back like most other SUVs. So once again, an old school element. You also have this old school element where you can see you have exposed door hinges. None of the new Mercedes-Benz models have that. This is the only one that does, and I'll show you some of the newer ones, like I mentioned earlier, that don't have this feature. Obviously, this is the only one that still has those exposed door handles. Another, and probably my favorite part, is this car's door itself. This car doesn't have smart keyless entry, and you might be wondering, well, that's pretty poor for a car of this price point. But really the benefit you get from not having that is this amazing sound. It's just that old school vibe that's what is causing this car's price to be so high. It's not so much of the modern features, it's so that you get that old school luxury, and that's probably why this car is a very, very popular luxury SUV. Alright, so like I mentioned, here's a bunch of other Mercedes SUVs to compare it with this one. So, as you can see here, this one has no exposed door handles. It does not have boxy styling. It is a more regular Mercedes SUV. Here's one that is the GLE instead of the GLC. And here is one that doesn't have the teardrop coupe shape. But in the end, all of them don't have the boxy look of this one. I personally really like the boxy look. I wish that boxy SUVs could make a comeback. But this is the only one left in Mercedes-Benz lineup that still has that boxy look. I'm very happy that they offer this car. And I also wanted to talk about this car's key. You can see, very nice looking key, very premium feel to it. You can see on the back, you have that button to get rid of the physical key. You also have an old school AMG logo. You don't have the Mercedes logo in here, which looks actually cooler than having the Mercedes logo. You do have the Mercedes logo here, though, and that's in complementary to that AMG logo. You do have the unlock button, you have the lock button here, and you do have the alarm over there, and as well, you have, hopefully you can see that, you do have an AMG badge down there as well. So very nice key, premium looking key. I really like the way this key looks. Here's the window sticker on this 2022 AMG G63. You can see the total retail price. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's going to be $204,350, which makes this a very expensive vehicle, but the amount of luxury and off-road capability and power that you get in this car, it kind of makes it seem like it's worth it. Fuel economy in this car, it's like so boxy, so it has pretty poor economy, 13 in the city, 16 in the highway, but that's a trade-off you get for this beautiful styling. Also, as you can see, this color costs $6,500. It's a special matte color, which looks pretty good, but I've got to say, I think it's worth the money. It's a beautiful, beautiful color on the outside. And overall, this car, I think, even though it's really expensive, I think that the stuff that this car offers makes the expense quite a bit worth it. Alright, and finally, let's go head under the hood and talk about the engine. So this car has a 4-liter V8 engine from AMG that produces 577 horsepower and 620 pound-feet of torque. This engine is really, really powerful. You can see you have an AMG badge with the Mercedes-Benz logo. Also over here you do have a stamp as well as the signature of the last person that signed off on this engine, which looks really nice. Overall, this engine is just a monster of an engine in this car. It looks so cool. And so that's the 2022 Mercedes G63 AMG. This car is a beast. It is a wonderful vehicle that really has a lot going for it. It's very luxurious. It has a lot of power, and it has that old school luxury feeling that conveys a lot of class. I really like this car, and it is one of my favorite Mercedes-Benzes around. I just love it.